Today I'm going to show you my favourite winter flowering plants. Plant them now and you'll have splashes of colour right the way through the coldest season of the year. There are loads of plants that are spectacular through the winter months. Here are 5 of my absolute favourites. At number 5, the winter flowering heather. Now, some heathers flower in late summer, but a group of them flower right the way through the winter. This is Beauty Queen, glorious tiny pink bells. You can use them as ground cover plants in acid soil. Plant them 18 inches apart, 45 centimetres, and they'll eventually make a thick rug. And look what you're gazing upon each winter. Alternatively, in containers, 3 plants of this size will fit in a 30 centimetre, 12-inch pot and give you a lovely little show on your doorstep. At number 4, the Camellia. Now, like most heathers, Camellias like acid soil. They don't like chalk or limestone. So again, if you want to grow one and you're growing on chalk, grow it in a tub of ericaceous lime-free compost and give it plenty of feeds. Then you get this lustrous dark green foliage that really shines. And then in either winter or early spring, you get this glorious show of flowers. Now this is a variety of Camellia sasanqua, and the thing about Camellia sasanqua is that it's fragrant. You can see the open flowers here with this central boss of golden stamens, but these big fat buds you can see, they're all going to be flowers. So you can imagine from looking at their various stages of development just how long this is going to bloom for. It's going to carry on for months, and that is a flower really worth having. There are 2 plants that give me particular pleasure in my garden during the winter, and the first is the firethorn, Pyracantha. You can see how it gets its common name because it's absolutely covered in these orange berries. It's a thorny shrub that you can train up a wall or a fence and also use as a hedge to keep the neighbours' dogs out. Then there's the Japanese maple, Acer palmatum sango kaku. Its stems are always described as coral red, but for me they're almost vibrant, shocking pink, and they will stay like that right the way through the colder weather. At number 3, the winter flowering pansy. So what's the difference between a viola and a pansy? Well, they're all violas, that's the botanical name, but pansy is the common name we give to the violas with very large flowers. There are lots of summer flowering pansies that tend to go to sleep in winter, but those that are bred to flower through the winter really are cheery. There are lots of them. Just check they are winter flowering ones. They're that bit tougher, and these will carry on flowering right the way through the spring. Great for the front of a border in a sunny spot or even dappled shade, but better still in a container where you can plant them and have them close to the house so that every time you come in and out you see these cheerful faces smiling at you. There's a lovely story about the famous gardener Gertrude Jekyll, who used to have a pet monkey, and there's a viola she named after it called jackanapes. So whether you've got a pet monkey or not, it's still worth growing some winter flowering pansies and violas. At number 2, a plant which divides opinion, but which I love in winter, Mahonia. This is a variety called Winter Sun, and as you can see, it's quite tall and angular, but out of the top comes this fountain of flowers. If you examine them closely, each one is almost like a tiny daffodil flower. Loads of them. And this one is very aptly named. This is Mahonia Winter Sun. And it really does gleam when the sun shines on those glorious flowers. The disadvantage is that it is very spiky. And that's why I say grow it at the back of a border, so you don't have to come into contact with it with your hands. As long as you don't have to touch it, this is a fab plant. It's statuesque. It offers architecture in the winter garden because it's evergreen and it's got this spiky, upright attitude to it. When it starts to get too tall, when the flowers are finished in spring, take your secateurs or your loppers to it and cut it back quite dramatically, just above one of these lower leaves. It will sprout and branch and turn into a much more shapely shrub. And if you dare to get your nose anywhere close, you'll detect a scent as well, especially on a warm sunny day. Before I reveal what's at number 1, 3 others that I didn't really want to leave out, so I'm going to sneak them in. One is Viburnum tinus, a great hedger for winter flowers. It can get quite tall, at which point in spring particularly you can cut it back and it will bush out even more. It's also good in a large pot or a tub on your patio or your terrace. Next one. This is Skimmia rubella, and you can see these tiny buds here, a wonderful warm rosy red, and again evergreen leaves. And when the flowers open, they're white, but they're actually more exciting when they're in bud. And the third one, had to include the cyclamen. Now you see these large flowered forms in window boxes in London, where the city heat keeps the temperature up. Out in the shires, when the frosts come, these large flowered ones get killed off. Stick with the tiny, hardy ones for lovely spots under trees and shrubs. All of these are beautiful in the garden or on the windowsill. So what's my number 1? It's this. The ornamental kale. Where have you seen a brighter rosette, a more beautiful specimen of plant life? Oh, I'm joking. I couldn't wish that on you. I know some people like them, and I hate to be unkind to any plant, but it's a bit of a weirdo, isn't it, really, ornamental kale? Plant it if you like it, just don't bring it anywhere near my garden. All right, so my real number 1 that you must love more than winter kale is this. The hellebore. This is ice roses. Well, I suppose you can see why. It's a bit icy in the middle and lovely rose-coloured flush to it. This is Helleborus glandorfensis. Don't worry too much about the Latin names, just choose them for their beautiful flowers. This is a gloriously healthy plant. You can find flowers now that are pure white, pale yellow, green, crimson, spotted, dark purple, so many variations. They grow in any half-decent soil. Mine are on chalk, so they can cope with it there. Just make sure that when you plant them, there's plenty of organic matter worked into the ground. They're a great plant to put in dappled shade, under and around trees and shrubs, and they'll flower in their various forms right the way through from the end of one year to the beginning of the next. So those are my favourite winter flowering plants. What are yours? Comment below. If you're looking for gardening tips like this, why not subscribe to my channel? You'll find ways of improving your garden, whatever its size, every week.